about what music and sound are. Now we need to learn how to interpret it. So it's all about the interpretation. So now we're starting to dive into the realm of music theory, which is all about how do we interpret what we see on the page. That's what we're talking about. So first we have to start with scales. So we've sort of glanced into notes and rhythms, all those things, but scales is how it all meshes together and begins to work. We need to understand scales so that we can learn how all the notes relate together and how we put them together to make it sound good. Otherwise, it just sounds like blah. So we have to learn how to put it together.
So scales are all about patterns. Patterns are everywhere in music. So patterns specifically related today to how many notes are in a scale. So we have 7 letter name notes in our scale. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and we can repeat again over and over and over to infinity and beyond. So letter A, when we repeat again, we start back over at number 1. So what are their names? Well, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we can start over again, and those are our notes in our scale. And that octave, that's that 8th scale. So we can call A, when we repeat it again, we can call it number 8, but typically we start back over on number 1. So there are different steps in between. So our keys on our piano, they represent the different steps. So a white key to the next key, which in this case happens to be a black key, that's a half step. And that same key to the next white key is another half step. But this white key to this white key is a whole step. And that's our interval, is the distance between the notes. So right here, there is no black key in between these two notes. So it's a half step because our interval goes based on the distance between notes. Keys that butt up right next to each other is a half step. If you have to skip a key to get to it, it's a whole step. So our chromatic scale uses all the notes on the keyboard. And you can start for any scale on any note, but our chromatic scale goes to any note on the keyboard.
Now, intervals are the distance between notes. So these spaces in between notes, that's my interval. So C to C sharp is a half step. I only go a half a step. It's a whole step from C to D. Now, how I know the difference between a half and a whole is if I skip a key or not. So from C to C sharp, I don't skip a key. I go straight to the black key. But when I go C to D, I skip that black key. So it's a whole step. So half step, whole step. Now over here is an interesting special case. E to F is a half step. See how I don't skip any black keys in between? It automatically makes E to F a half step. So I talked about how the different letters associate to a scale degree. Well, it depends on the scale. So this is a mat that I bought for my little one. She's not ready for it yet, but I'm going to use it to help me with this. So we have 7 scale degrees. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so up here, we can call it 8. 8 is our octave, but it's not technically the 8th scale degree. It's 1 again. It's just up an octave. So hear how 1 and 1 sound similar. Now you can start on any note on the keyboard and call it 1. Now I'm going to start on this note, although I don't have a full keyboard for this, but I could call this 1, 2, 3. But that doesn't quite work on my little map. Unfortunately, I only have 8 keys that work. Now, if you see on here is written do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Depending on your musical background, you might recognize this. The choral world uses these to designate these same 7 scale degrees. They just use these words to designate them instead. So, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. They're just a way to designate the number of scale degree.
Note to play on our keyboard. Sharp raises the pitch, not a hashtag, it's called a sharp. A flat lowers the pitch, and natural is like the cancel button of music. If the note before had a sharp or a flat, it's like cancel, forget that, never mind. But we also get what are called enharmonics. Enharmonics are notes that have different names but are the same pitch. So in my example down here, if I take E on the keyboard and sharp it, aka raise the pitch, I can call it E sharp, or it is also called F. It is the same name. It's the same pitch, different names. I'm sorry. And these are all over our keyboard. So another example, C sharp is also D flat. Same pitch, different names. So now we need to talk about scales now that we know a little bit more about our notes. So this is our major scale formula. There are 5 whole notes and 2 half notes in our major scale. So this is a C major scale. We're going to listen to that here in a moment so you can hear it. And notice the C major scale does not include any black keys. It is only the white keys on the piano. Because those half notes fall right here where there's naturally on the piano 2 notes that butt up next to each other and 2 notes that butt up next to each other. And so this is what we typically think of as a scale that sounds happy. It sounds happy and cheerful and exciting.
So here is the C scale. So how you can find C is always the white note before a repeated pattern of 2 black notes. See how there's 2 black notes, 3 black notes, and then 2. And this pattern keeps going. So C is always the white note before a 2 black note set. So our C scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And it goes back down again. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Scales can be started on any note on the piano. So it doesn't just have to be a C. It doesn't have to just start here. I can start down here on F and do an F scale. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. Now the reason why I'm saying B flat is I'm playing this black key to get my whole and my half step ratio. If I say just B, I'm not playing the right note. This white key is B. So listen to what happens if I play a true B instead of a B flat. It doesn't sound right, so I need to play that B flat. It makes a huge difference in the sound.
Now we get the minor scale. And the minor scale typically sounds sad. When you think it, people automatically are like, oh, that's sad. That's sad music. It's not always sad music, quote unquote, but we typically think of it as sounding sad. So the A minor scale uses the same notes on the piano, the same keys on the piano as the C major scale. It's all the white keys. but I start on a different letter. Instead of starting on the letter C, I start on letter A. And this is called relative minor because it uses all the same keys on the keyboard or piano, but it just starts in a different spot. So instead of being whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, like the major scale, the minor scale is whole, half, whole, half, whole, whole. So it has the same number of wholes and half steps, but they just are in a different order because we started on in a different spot. Minor scales and major scales can start on any note on the keyboard. You can pick a note and go anywhere, but these whole and half steps help us to figure out what scale to play. But there are types of minor scales. There's only one kind of major scale, the major scale, but minor is a little bit different. We have natural, harmonic, and melodic. Natural has no altered notes. They are all the same steps that we're accustomed to. But harmonic minor isn't quite the same. We raise the 7th scale. So we take the 7th note in the scale and we raise it. We put a sharp on it. Melodic minor takes the 6th and the 7th notes in the scale and it puts a sharp in front of it and raises it. But the interesting thing about melodic, typically, but not always, when ascending, going up, so you see how the front half of the scale is ascending, we raise that 6th and 7th degree. But when we descend, we natural or we cancel that 6th and 7th sharp going back down. These different scales help to create different moods, and composers will use them for different reasons within their composition.
Even do an F minor scale. It doesn't have to be major. So here is my F minor scale. And I can make it that's a natural minor. I can make it a harmonic minor by raising the 7th scale degree. So raising the 7th scale degree. And I can make it melodic minor by raising the 6th and the 7th.
Friendly reminder, this video does not replace the live sessions of my class. So you need to either attend a live session or watch the recording of it, as this is just a glance at the unit. This does not cover everything, and I do not make a video for every single lesson in every unit. So please, please, please either attend live sessions, please, or watch the recording. Let me know if you need any help. My phone number and email are on the screen. Reach out to me. I'm here to help you. Have a great day, guys.